Let's just check there is an egg in it. There is. Okay. And hopefully, given I'm about to risk my neck, there is an egg up in here. Carefully through the... Okay. Let's try that again. Somehow, I don't think that's going to work. Okay, don't ask me how. I very dangerously climbed up that tree and grabbed that egg. I don't want to talk about it again. Because my whole life flashed before my eyes, reached out over that chasm. Right, and this Langley better be damn appreciative of these eggs. Inigo, you're still in one piece. That is good to see. Right, excuse me, gentlemen. Langley?
Well done, you got the eggs. Very good.
I got all 8 that you asked for. You said there was something precious in it for me.
Your prize? Oh, yes. Here you go. Take my thanks and my gratitude. Very precious commodities indeed.
What did you give me? Look, just take your eggs. What have you given me?
What? I didn't need eggs. I just needed you out of the house for a bit so we could talk. Keep them. Turn them into an omelette for all I care.
You said they help with your visions.
Anyway, Inigo and I have had a bit of a chat, and he's persuaded me that you can be trusted. It seems we 3 are in this together.
I thought you were already going to trust...
I've given him my notes, and I'm sure he'll let you read through everything. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
If you wanted privacy, you could have asked.
You should talk to Inigo first, though.
Yeah, I think I ought to talk to Inigo first, thank you. Go on, get the hell away from me. Inigo?
Good job getting those eggs, my friend. This Langley fellow may be a bit rude and gruff, but he's on our side.
If he wanted privacy, he could have asked.
He found my father's journal, can you believe it? He also gave me 2 books he's written about his search for me. They contain a lot of information about how important I am. They are very good books, but also sad. Apparently, I have my own prophecy. If you want to hear more about it, I'll tell you what I know. Langley says we are going to save the world. That is, of course, unless you think we have something better to do.
I mean, saving the world seems pretty damn important, but I don't want to rain on your parade if you're excited about this prophecy, but I'm still very skeptical about this Langley. Especially because he won't just say what he wants and what he means. If he'd have just said, please step outside, I want to have a private chat with you, and you were like, yeah, no, we'll have a private chat, we'll just see what's what. I'd have happily waited outside, I'd have set the tent up, I'd have got the campfire going. Me and Bruce, we would have just had a nice sit and a nice read or something while you waited in here and had a chat with him. But he lied to us. To get eggs, he put us at risk. Or me at risk. I don't care for him. But you, Inigo, how's the head?
It is still a little tender. Oh, that reminds me. You should ask Langley about the summon spell that has been causing my mind vibrations. He has a spare copy. Maybe he will let you give it a go. My mind is not keen on the idea, but I think a spell like that could be useful, my friend.
Possibly. I'm not great at magic. I suppose if we're separated and we don't know how to find each other, I suppose it's, better than nothing and trying to meet up again. But tell me about this prophecy that Langley's been telling you about.
I will tell you what I know.
Please do. So, what is this prophecy exactly?
Okay, the Inigo prophecy. Somewhere out there in the world, there is a very nasty being gathering its strength. If left unchecked, it will grow until its evil influence burns away all that is good in this world.
Oh.
It has appeared in Langley's dreams for many years. Often as a gigantic figure striding through the land, leaving nothing but pain, anguish, and death in its wake. He calls it the Doomstrider. In the same dream, he sometimes sees a handsome blue Khajiit defeat the menace with his help. He calls this fellow the champion. That is me, my friend.
Okay.
Much of Langley's prophecy is hazy, and he says that sometimes his dreams show more than one possible outcome. But now he and I have finally met. He believes we stand a good chance of preventing much suffering.
If you didn't appear in his dreams, I would have said that this prophecy was nothing more than a nightmare. But he could be working another angle. Possibly. We just need to be careful and weigh all possibilities sensibly. And you say he sees his prophecy in his dream. Has he verified his visions with you somehow? Like, have you got any more details about the information he's shared with you?
What details can I help you with?
Kind of all of them. This Doom Strider. Do we have any more information on what it is other than what I'm going to assume is a shadowy being in that flamey painting he's got?
Not much, I'm afraid. Langley is the man to ask about that. All I know is that I am destined to fight whatever or whoever it is. I hope you will be at my side when the time comes, my friend. Of course, I will do my best to keep this from interfering with my debt to you.
Oh, no, you've not got any debt to me. It's fine. It's fine. I'd be with you all the way, Inigo, but you've not got a debt, and it's far from me to turn around and refuse you help after you've come along and helped me so much.
It warms my heart to hear you say that, my friend. With your help, I know I can finally put some good back into this world.
You're already putting good into this world. You know, think of all the good you're doing with me and Lucian. You know, helping fill up the museum and, you know, collecting all these artifacts and creating a base of knowledge. But, moving on, these books Langley gave you, one of them's your father's journal. The other are his journals, right?
They are called In Search of a Champion and Da Vinci's Journal. My father wrote the journal, and Langley wrote In Search of a Champion.
Oh, so
Langley's books contain the story of his search for me, and a few tales about Fergus and I. The journal is my father's personal account of our upbringing. In my opinion, the books are informative and quite moving.
We'll need to read them then. Have you... particularly your father's journal, but I am curious what Langley has put pen to paper over. I'm curious to hear about your tales, if they're accurate in that book of his. It does kind of strike me as a bit egotistical that he didn't just write a journal or a diary. He's written 2 books titled In Search of a Champion. That seems more like I'm on my next bestseller sort of angle. What have you learnt about your past coming here? Has it jogged any memories?
Like all Khajiit, my physical characteristics were probably determined by the moons at my birth. I seem to be the product of a very rare celestial alignment that only occurs briefly, every few hundred years or so. In the backward village where I was born, a blue child was seen as a bad moon omen. I would have been sacrificed if my birth mother had not smuggled Fergus and I away.
Wait, Fergus would have been in danger too. Fergus wasn't blue though, was he? Was he?
We were not identical, but we were twins. Perhaps his life was forfeit by association. Whatever the case, I like to think that my birth mother could not bear the idea of separating us.
I'm sure she couldn't. I'm curious though, if he was your twin, why wasn't he blue? Is it because he was... You say it was like a celestial alignment? Had the moons then moved? When you were born? Or were you born after and the moons had moved? I don't... Have the moons moved? I'm going to assume that's why he wasn't blue too.
I can only guess that there was enough time between our births for the moons to shift. Langley thinks the alignment that produced me may only last for a few moments. I am incredibly unique, my friend.
Incredibly. There might not be another blue Khajiit on this earth.
What would you like to know?
what can you tell me about Langley? What's your opinion of him? He's well, I don't like him. I'm just going to be upfront. I don't care for him.
He is interesting.
That's a political way to put it. How do his visions work? Did he tell you?
Langley has dreams that often come true. He usually foresees the beginning, the middle, or the end of a future event, but never all three. So he may know that a man at the market will get into a fight, but he won't know why. Or he will see a dead man at the market, but not know how he died. To make matters worse, he sometimes sees 2 or more possible endings.
Within the same
Until
vision?
we met, he couldn't be sure that we ever would. He is understandably relieved.
Okay, so you are convinced then his visions are genuine. What can you tell me about his search for you then? He's been on your trail for a long time, it seems. If he's been in elsewhere looking for your parents and then following you around Cyrodiil.
Ever since I appeared in his dreams, he has been looking for me. All he knew in the beginning was that the champion was Khajiit, avoided death at an early age, and had blue fur. He finally heard about a remote village among the shifting sands of elsewhere that ritualistically sacrifices any child born among their number whose fur is blue. He deduced that the champion was likely a blue child from this village that somehow escaped their fate. He set off in search of the village, but on the way he found Overhaul and heard about me. This was a few years after Fergus and I left to find our fortune though, so he began tracking us. Along the way he heard tales about my brother and I. He even collected mementos from our endeavors. You can see a few of them over there on those shelves by the chest.
Okay.
After finding Fergus lying among the remains of our camp, he lost track of me. The years went by, and he grew weary. He eventually returned here, and employed a group of adventurers to continue the search for me, and to look for any signs of the Doomstrider. He also paid a conjuration mage to concoct a summon Inigo spell. My mind vibrations were the result of him trying unsuccessfully to use the spell.
Oh. He seems to have a fair amount of money behind him if he can afford just to travel in search of you, and pay other people to search for you for him, and pay a mage to develop a spell for the purpose of summoning only you. It does kind of make his vision seem genuine if he discovered that, you know, you were a blue Khajiit through his visions and then sort of began tracking you down. Unless he read this prophecy somewhere else. Is there anything else we can talk about, ask about Langley and this whole situation?
What would you like to know?
Well, like, what happens now? That's the big question.
We wait for Langley to receive more information either from his sources or his dreams. When he hears something new, he will let us know.
And risk tearing your mind apart, is that it? Is he going to use his spell to contact us?
He will use the summon spell to vibrate my mind again. My mind is not looking forward to it.
I mean, we could tell him to send a letter to Dragonborn Museum. You know, like, there's no reason he can't mail us now he knows where you are. I've heard enough.
Okay.
What do you think about all of this?
Those items on the shelves Langley salvaged from my past bring back some good memories.
I'll have a look. This shelf? By the chest, you said, though. Well, there's a chest. Is that a giant club?
What? Am I making a poison? Oh, I hope not. Oh dear.
I hope you're not. That would be a very worrying development. Frontier. Okay, there's a fair few books. Were they your books? some skulls, a giant's hammer, and a colossal helmet.
What is this?
Did that belong to the giant? Let's... Kolben the Dragon. An adventure for Nord boys. Kolb was a brave Nord warrior. One day his chief asked Kolb to slay an evil dragon that threatened their village. Go through the mountain pass, Kolb, his chief said. You will find a dragon on the other side. Oh, it's a choose-your-own-adventure book. Well, I'll take it. That could be fun to read at night. And the real... I'm going to assume these are your books, and I'm just going to nick them. Oh, I actually got to take it. Mysterious Akavir. Can I even carry these? I'm going to assume these are Inigo's, and they're ours to take. Right. Ooh, on Oblivion. There are quite a lot of... He seems absorbed, and I need payment for getting those eggs. What did he give me for finding those eggs? Did he just give me the eggs? Are they just my eggs now? I mean, I'll keep them. We got them. It's a souvenir of the trip, I suppose, but... What else? Oh, firebrand wine. He really doesn't notice. I won't take too much. I'll just be taking the mick. The books, though. Just pretend we're looking for the spell book. We'll ask him in a moment. Argonian account? I'll have that. The lusty Argonian maid. Oh. Why is this on the list, Orient? Why is that on the list? You know what? I think I might leave that copy there. I don't know where it's been. I don't know what's been all over it. Ugh. Harvesting frostbite venom. I'll take it. Oh, to the Tunstriders. Short history of Morrowind. Finally, Messagebox. Right, I think those are all the books on display. Those are paint splattered rags, are they? Looks very red and wet. Right, Langley. Can I ask you about something? Mainly the book, the spell book.
If you must.
Well, tell me about this prophecy of yours, first of all. We'll get to the spell book.
The Inigo prophecy. Yes. What do you want to know?
Everything, really.
Oh dear, I don't have time for that. Inigo knows a fair bit, and you have those books I gave him. If you know how to read.
All right.
Look like you may have trouble with some of the bigger words.
All right.
If you want someone to explain information to you that you already have written down, ask Inigo.
Wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, see if I could pick out any discrepancies between what you say and what's in these books of yours. I do not care for your tone, mister. You can say things in a nicer way. You know, if you're like, you know, I've told Inigo everything, you know, there's nothing more that I could say or whatever. Or it's, I've written it all down in the books, you know, everything's there more comprehensively. And I've been fine with it, but no, you got to insult me at every bloody opportunity, saying I struggle with the big words and things. Why should I be convinced this prophecy will even come to pass, and it's not just some recurring nightmare you have?
The truth is, I don't. But let's look at the evidence, shall we?
Let's.
On average, the accuracy of my visions is about 90%. That percentage goes up when the event I predict is closer in time, and or the subjects of the event are known to me. The fact that Inigo and I have now met and had a chat suggests the chance the rest of my vision will come to pass has increased substantially.
How do you know it's...
Follow?
Well, no, not really. I'm following what you're saying, but I don't understand how you've reached a conclusion your visions are 90% accurate. Are we going to get onto that? I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just don't get that last part.
Good.
And this Doomstrider.
I'm horrified by how little I actually know on the subject. I think it's a human, or at least I believe it walks in a human form. My dreams and visions are often metaphorical, so it's hard to discern exactly what it is, or the nature of the destruction it'll bring.
And so it's in human form. I'm going to assume that painting over there is the Doomstrider, so you don't know exactly what it looks like in your dreams.
There are two dreams. In both, I see a towering, dead-minded, red-eyed monstrosity walking the world, leaving sorrow, death, and despair in its wake. The very gods are powerless to intervene. In one vision, I see them watch in horror as Nirn decays and rots.
And the other vision, You're kind of implying that whatever this is stronger than a god. And I'm not sure I buy it.
That one is a little better. It starts out in much the same way, but this time the champion is there to stop the Doomstrider. I see a baby blue Khajiit elude death before his first birthday. I see him grow into a great warrior. I see him and I talking in earnest. And I see the gods rejoice as he defeats the demon.
Again, you're kind of implying that this demon is stronger than the gods. And somehow Inigo will be able to defeat it. Which, he's very capable, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he's defeat a creature stronger than a god capable. No offense, Inigo. You say it's metaphorical, though. So the Doomstrider might not actually be a person, it might just be an event.
Yes, I hope so. I'm inclined to believe that the images I see are not literal. The destruction I witness could be my mind's way of translating any great catastrophe.
Okay.
Perhaps the Doomstrider is an evil man who gains great power. Perhaps it's not a man at all. Maybe it represents famine or disease, or even a wicked idea that infects every mind it touches. That said, considering Inigo is the champion, and his skill set revolves around killing, I think it is more likely that the Doomstrider has a corporeal form.
I don't know. Like, you assume that. Kind of makes me think it's going to be the opposite. I feel like you're too close to these visions to look at them with a more critical eye. I mean, it's like, I guess he's a great warrior, but he brings a lot more to the team than just his sword arm. He's got a very sharp mind. Do you know how he defeats the Doomstrider in your vision?
That is unclear to me. Perhaps now Inigo and I are known to one another, my dreams will offer up a clearer picture. I'll be sure to keep him posted.
Make sure you keep me posted as well. We're a team, Inigo and I suppose in a way, you too.
I suppose.
Yeah, we are. If I ask, want to know more about you, you'll be like, oh no, read the books. I don't really want to know that much about you other than seeing if you really are a psychopath. These paintings of, I'm going to assume yours.
They are not for sale.
No, I don't want to buy them. I'm not looking to buy them. Are they, I'm going to assume images from your visions. And one of yourself. That's a little narcissistic.
Yes, I discovered my love of art in the Imperial City. Now I mainly use my talents to depict what I see in my dreams. I paint them as soon as I wake up. I find that locking a dream in place in the form of a picture often lends further insight.
Like writing something down to help remember it. It's sort of the practice of painting the picture and making it a more vivid image in reality helps it become a clearer image in your mind. Okay. Where do you get the materials? Where do you get your supplies? You are in the middle of nowhere.
I make my own. I mix various ingredients with a little oil to create paint. And I've discovered a skeever's tail makes quite a decent brush. Unorthodox, but functional.
A skeever
The
tail.
ability to improvise is useful when one is so far from civilization.
You could just send for brushes if you've got adventurers. You could surely hire somebody to do some shopping for you. Right? Right.
I suppose.
Then you... Oh, this place. What did you build this yourself? This is a big place to build all on your own. In the middle of nowhere with no supplies.
What do you want to know?
Did you build it? Well, it seems like you live here alone.
Yes, I find that stupidity can be contagious. To maintain one's intellectual prowess, it is important to keep one's distance from society as a whole. Of course, this does not apply to Inigo, and since he likes you so much, I'll suffer your company for as long as he wants you around.
Oh, delightful. So, basically, rather than sharing knowledge and gaining wisdom with others, you just want to hermit yourself away and live in ignorance, basically, in your own little self-contained bubble that you are a smart and intelligent man and not basically a bit of a loon. And these items on the shelves by the table, they're from Inigo's Adventures, yes?
They are relics of Inigo's past. The skulls are all that is left of a coven of witches he and his brother destroyed. The club belonged to the first giant he killed, and the big helmet at the top was once the property of Browolf the Broad, a fearsome tyrant.
I kind of assumed the
That
club
one
was a
mere
giant, but...
thing, but Inigo and Fergus dispatched him in the end. The stories behind each item are in the books I gave Inigo.
I will definitely be reading those then. The statue outside, that is Talos, isn't it? Did you put that there, or is it there when you arrived?
I believe a group of Talos worshippers used to live here. I'm not sure where they went, but I fear they may have suffered an attack of some sort. When I first arrived, there were a few collapsed shacks and a destroyed stable, too. This is the only building that was intact. I needed to re-thatch the roof and fix areas of the walkway, but other than that, it was in tip-top condition.
But where are the ruins now? Were there ruins outside? I'm going to assume you salvaged from the ruins to repair what there was. Let's talk about something
I
else.
suppose.
You. Tell me about you.
I'm an intelligent and very complex man. Try being more specific.
I don't think you're that intelligent. You might be... Right, you might be intelligent, but also on the other hand, it's weighed up by colossal ignorance with your superiority complex that means you're not going to be as intelligent as you think you are. Tell me about you, your
I'm a
past.
native of Skyrim, but I moved to Cyrodiil in my teens. I had a talent for magic, and I was packed off to the Imperial City on an apprenticeship. I never joined a guild or anything. I received my training from an angry little man called Barton Barrius.
Why not the College
Bit
of
of a
Winterhold?
pyromaniac, but a decent sort, really. He never used his powers against humans. Wouldn't hear of it. But he enjoyed burning everything else.
Oh.
Anyway, he taught me a great deal about destruction magic, alchemy, and even how to hone my visions. He imbued in me a thirst for knowledge, and I soon began researching a variety of subjects outside the discipline of magic. When I returned to Skyrim, I traveled the Hells, making gold by predicting the weather for farmers and such. But my main focus soon became science.
Science. I know what science is. I'm not going to ask about that. But what sort of science? I don't mean what is science. I know what science is, but what what sort of science?
It's like magic, but more reliable.
No, I know what
it's
it is.
all about systematically building knowledge and collecting testable explanations. In short, it is the study of everything.
Yeah, but what are you studying? What is it you do here?
I write and I experiment. I research and observe. I spend my days mapping out theories and ideas that strengthen humanity's intellectual grasp. I may not be very well known here, but my studies have earned me good standing among certain more rational factions of society.
I find that hard to believe. I feel like your work isn't very well peer-reviewed out here. It feels like you're shying away from criticism. Under the guise of being away from the stupidity of the masses, I feel like you just cannot take criticism. When did you start receiving visions? You say your master helped you hone them as an apprentice. You must have been quite young.
When I was very young, after I managed to convince people they were real, my father called them a gift. Most of the time, they're a bloody curse. For instance, I knew my mother was going to leave my father before she did. It's hard for a 9-year-old to know what to do with that information.
Ah, that must have actually been quite difficult. I suppose in a way. Your visions probably give you knowledge you don't necessarily want. Such as your mother leaving your father before she decided to leave him. What else can we talk about?
I suppose.
Can you see my future? I don't suppose you've ever seen me in your dreams before.
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. Whenever I try to force a prediction, the results are usually extremely vague. My more accurate visions come to me in the form of dreams, though even then they show possibilities, not definite outcomes.
And I assume you've not had any dreams about me before.
No, not yet anyway. I occasionally get flashes of Mr. Dragonfly, but that probably doesn't mean very much. Over time, Inigo's fascination with the little fellow has obviously seeped into my dreams. I wouldn't feel too left out, though. If you have a place in all this, I'm sure you'll show up eventually.
Then does Mr. Dragonfly have a place in all of this? Other than being Inigo's companion? Tell me... Right, okay, let's talk about this Summon Inigo spell that you have, which clearly doesn't work.
It's rubbish. Tosh. Hardly works at all. All it seems to do is give poor Inigo vague directions to the summoner. And a headache.
That's still pretty good, even if it's, you know, causing him a massive, terrifying headache. You know, the vague direction to the summoner is a decent start. Could it be you're doing it wrong? Maybe? I don't know. Like, I really don't know a lot about the spell. Can I have a look?
I followed the instructions dutifully. There's no reason it shouldn't work. No one knows Inigo better than I do.
I doubt that. You might know about his life, but you don't really know Inigo. This is the first time you've met. What does it even have to do with anything?
The conjuration mage who created the spell told me that as long as I was Inigo's true friend, I should be able to get it to work. It's clearly broken. I'm the greatest ally Inigo has.
I again don't know about that. But ally and friends aren't necessarily the same thing. You can have begrudging allies and not be friends at all. Well, Inigo and I know each other pretty well. We could test it out. We could see if the spell's broken or if you just need to get to know Inigo more.
Oh, I'm sure you know him a little, but I've been studying him for decades.
But you've only just met him.
If the spell doesn't work for me, it won't work for anyone. Isn't that right, Inigo?
I think you should let him try it.
Oh.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What? Why?
Langley, I am sure we are great allies in the making, but my friend here and I have a more immediate bond.
What do you mean? Oh, I didn't realize you were an item.
No, not a kind of bond.
Bond. We have traveled together.
Yeah.
We have enjoyed sharing our views on many subjects.
Exactly.
We have fought bravely side by side.
Indeed we have.
I have placed my life in his hands.
And mine in his. Pause.
What I'm trying to say is, we are friends. Go on, hand over a copy of the spell. I am the only one who will suffer if it goes wrong.
I see. I won't argue with you, even though it's a waste of time. I will do as you ask.
Thank you. What is the worst that can happen?
Your head
I
explodes?
don't want to know. If we're going to do this, we must be scientific. Inigo, you stay here, and your friend and I will go outside. Once we're on the path, I'll give you the spell, and you can try unsuccessfully to teleport Inigo to us.
Oh, I have a little
Stare
faith.
vacantly, if you understand.
Good luck, my friend. I will wait and brace myself.
I'm the one who's going to be bracing
Okay,
myself to
you
be
can
alone
have
with
a
him.
vacant gazing routine now. Come on. We should head outside and get this over with.
Fine, you lead the way. You just want some time alone, don't you? After all of this. He's exhausting. Right. Give me the book.
Right, let's get started. Here is the spell.
Right.
I had to pry it open just to read half the incantations. I doubt you'll have better luck.
What, you can open it? That's weird, isn't it? You couldn't even open it. Right, what have we got? It. Spell tome, summon Inigo.
Inconceivable. Just you wait. I bet your hands explode when you cast it.
What? I opened it and I just have the knowledge. Don't blame me. Bet my hands explode. Right, don't wish harm on me. It's not very nice at all. Right, summon Inigo at the aimed position. Right. Well, here goes nothing. It says focus. Let's aim down the path a little bit and...
What? How did you do that?
I don't know.
Whoa, it worked. I am outside.
You are outside.
I don't know what to say.
Suck it, Langley.
Test its range. Try to place me farther away.
Farther away? Oh,
again.
now I just want to shot. See, this is why you don't seclude yourself in the mountains, pretending you're an intelligent man, because you got no one to basically prove that you're not. Gotta be... Stop being so judgmental.
Try to place me farther
Okay,
away.
I'm gonna try. He needs to stop being so
Do it
judgmental.
again.
Right, let's try... Okay, over there by that torch. Ready? Focusing. And now.
That felt good.
It felt good. Oh, no headaches.
That was wonderful. Did you see? One moment I was inside, casually not tasting Langley's cooking. Whoosh! I saw your face, and I was out here. It was amazing.
I know, it was pretty amazing for me too. How do you feel okay? No splitting headaches, no brains dripping out your nose?
It feels good. No mind vibrations at all. It is like a brief warm embrace, followed by a pleasant floaty sensation. There is something else.
Something else? Like, what's something else?
When you summoned me, I felt like I had a choice. That I could choose not to go if I didn't want to.
Oh,
This is a fantastic tool, my friend.
hell yeah it is.
I knew you could do it. You are outstanding.
Observation. The subject seems to be physically unaffected by the spell. He is, however, exhibiting poor character judgment.
Oh,
You
wrap
are
it
far
up,
better,
Langley.
Poor character judgment, my tail. My friend here did a fantastic job getting the spell to work.
Thank you, Inigo.
Note. The subject is clearly delusional.
The subject does not sound nearly as good as the champion. Did I offend you in some way? I hope not. Without you, we never would have gained such a wonderful spell. I hope you know we are grateful for all you have done.
It's not you, Inigo. It's him.
Me?
The spell shouldn't work with just anyone. It was supposed to form a link between us.
No, it doesn't form
This
a...
idiot broke it.
Oh,
I think that maybe the spell works because of the link my friend and I already share. You should not take it personally. We three are a team now. We need each other and should not be fighting amongst ourselves.
You and I are a team. All this moron can do is collect eggs.
You
How
told me to
useful is
collect
that going to
eggs.
be when we take on the Doomstrider?
That is only one of my friend's many talents. Trust me, you could not wish for a more worthy ally.
We shall see. I hope you're right. I'm getting cold. I think I'll head inside. Feel free to make yourself at home and stay as long as you like. When you leave, I'll be sure to contact you with my lesser version of the spell if I hear anything new.
Thank you, Langley. I am glad we finally met.
I am too. I can see you're every bit the champion this world needs. I'll see you soon. I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn earlier. I'm sure you don't mean to be annoying.
Being referred to as an idiot is annoying. You can't apologize on one hand and insult on the other. That's not how apologies work.
It was just an observation. There's no need to get upset. Look, I'm sorry I called you an idiot. Happy?
No, but I'll accept your apology. As a sign of goodwill, because Inigo's right, we need to try and get along.
Yes, I agree. Please don't take anything I say to heart. I know I can be insufferable at times.
So do I.
Right. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now, Langley. I think we parted on
I
a
am glad you
more
are giving
positive
Langley a
note.
chance, my friend. I believe he means well, even if he is not very good at showing it.
I think I just need a little time to just to relax. You know, I'm wound up at the moment. I'm sure he's not that bad really, but he's wound me up and I just need time to sort of digest it. You know, in the heat of the moment, you don't think entirely rationally, do you?
His heart is in the right place, I think. I find him quite amusing. Anyway, we solved the mystery of my vibrating brain, and you got a powerful new spell. A spell they do not teach at any college, I'll wager.
I reckon they don't. I'd be surprised if they
I am
did.
still trying to digest everything Langley told me. There is a lot to sort through. For now, we get on with our lives until he contacts us again. I have a feeling we are at the beginning of a fantastic adventure, my friend.
Well, we're fighting something called the Doomstrider, so I hope it's fantastic and it doesn't end in tragedy. No. Ah, the fire's gone out. I kind of want to leave. No offense to Langley. Let's get the tent. What time are we on, do you think? I don't think we're going to get back to Dawnstar at this time of night. You know what? Let's get the campfire burning again. The embers are still smouldering. It shouldn't be too difficult. And we'll set off back to Dawnstar in the morning, and we'll get in the carriage. Oh no, there isn't a carriage in Dawnstar, is there? Oh, right. What's going to be the plan then? We're going to just descend the slope the way we came up, I imagine. I do want to have a quick look through Snowpoint Beacon. I suppose we could ride back to Solitude. Really? It seems to be the quickest way. Or we ride down to Whiterun. Either or. It might be safer to go to Whiterun and get the carriage to Solitude. I think that's what we'll do. For now, let's go gather some wood.